across here. Now I'm taking the time to retuck so I can see what everything's gonna look like. And we're ready to work on this side. So I'm gonna pull this over and we're gonna start doing the tuck for real. Not just the how much material do we need tuck. I'll watch my dots. I'm gonna make sure we're not going too much up. Now we've got this weird chunk of fabric back here. So we're gonna work that down in as well. See, that smooths that out in the back, and we're going to have another piece across the back. So, checking our dots. See how these dots are starting to veer to the side? That means I've tucked too much on that side. It's got to be all the way down, tucking that much. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take this and finger gather that in there. So, come around and look at this from the front. Make sure you're happy with it before you start stitching. Nope. Back here. And just like you did on the side there, we're going to go through with our upholstery needle. Come up from the back here if you want to show from the back. So I've knotted this. I'm going to come up behind my excess fabric so you don't see the knot. And we're going to go, now I want to make sure I don't just go straight in. I want to grab some of these. We've got like 3 different layers going on here. And I want to get all of them with my hook here so that they don't pop out in weird ways. So I've got every single one of those layers so that they're all going to stay in place. Now, we don't want to pull out our thing, our fold. So from this point on, when we tie off every once in a while, we're going to do it right on top of the project. So you'll just peel back and tie things off. Okay. So making sure I get all the different layers. As hard as this may look, I still think it's harder to take the whole couch apart and start back over, in my opinion. My unprofessional opinion. Hey. Always make sure you can feel the tip of your needle coming back out so you know exactly where that's going before you pull out, because you don't want to lose your needle on the couch. You can see, you're not going to see any of these stitches that we've done from the front because they're in the recess here. And come around the front. Okay, looking good. So all we're gonna do is continue this. I'm gonna sit in the front now, but I won't make you watch this, but we're gonna go all the way down the front. I want you to pay particular attention right here. Just make sure with your hand that you have where this fold is looking nice before you stitch. And now that I'm on the front, you also want to make sure that these dots, you know, whatever your pattern is, stripes, plaids, whatever, floral, you know, make sure that it looks good from both cushions. So anyway, and you're just going to repeat that process. We're going to go all the way down to here with that stitch process, and then you're going to do this cushion across the middle, then you're going to do the side, and then you'll do that cushion. And then we'll be back probably tomorrow. I just wanted to show as I'm working along here, did this entirely, went down, did the crease, and now we're working across. You can see that's not done yet here, and then we'll be coming down just like we did for this crease. We're going to do the same thing for this last one. So for the side of the couch, I've tucked everything in that we cut, so this can go around. We finished stitching the front, and all we're going to do, just to make this very simple, I'm pushing down here. Once again, this is more like a slip cover. I'm going to fold very simply like that, just making sure it's snug from the front and that it's snug from the back. You can see the back over here. Snug on both sides. See how flat that is. And then what I'm going to do is make sure this is still flat. And I came in at this point and I trimmed. There was a lot of excess, just like I did in the front. Anything that's not going to show, you can trim down at this point. So you can see that jagged cut in there. It's not going to be seen. And this is why we left the side as we did, because we're going to push this under and tuck it under all the way around. And just keep playing with it. And then this right here, I'm going to fold it under. It was kind of like this. So I'm going to fold it under. And you're doing whatever fits to make your couch look beautiful. And then we're going to tuck this excess under in here because we're going to be hand stitching that in a minute. So, and then we're going to fold that under. And we'll start putting some pins in. And with your straight needle, just like we did in the front section with the arms, we're going to come below where we need to start so you don't see our thread. And then come in the channel of the fabric. And we'll start working our way down. So I'm just going to peel this back like this when I get to this point. I'm not going to open this up because so much relies on it, but just work your way down to here and then down through here. And having worked down both of these, we're getting to the point where we've folded over here. We're going to come back around in a second and do in this recess here. So we're just going to continue working on down here. So I didn't even cut my thread. Pretty exciting by this point. We're getting dangerously close to being done with this couch. Which is good, because everyone's sick of not being allowed to sit on it. Which maybe I won't let them sit on it even when it's done, because they'll just mess up all my work over time. They'll spill things on it and jump on it. Just keep checking all your different sections to make sure that looks good. Okay, and now we've reached the point where this has already been stitched up to this point. So I'm just gonna make sure this is still smooth and tucked in all the way around. You can put in some pins if you want to, but we're just gonna follow this all the way around to the back, and I'm gonna stop like an inch here into the back because I don't want to go, I'm gonna cut this fabric in the back, so I'm gonna stop right here. So we're on the back of the couch here, and we're gonna cut off this extra flat material here, and so we don't need to waste that back there. Anyway, and I have this piece that I have left, and I'm gonna make sure that I can use it for my back, but I have to be really careful I don't cut off too much of this. I'm actually gonna go a little bit lower than I would have. Right here with my fingers I can feel the crease where the back of the couch began. And what I'm going to do is I would at least need to go enough below there to attach this next piece. However, because I want to use this piece, I'm going to go a little bit lower. And what you're going to do, wherever you're cutting, we're going to cut all the way across, get rid of the excess material. So I'm going to cut lower down, and I'm going to do a side cut in here because I had stitched to the side. There's my side. Just make sure you go far enough over that you get it covered. Anyway, as always, use dots as guides if you have them, or stripes, or if not, you can pin all the way across and use that for your measurements. In the back here, we have our extra gathered material where we did our folds and pleats in front. So you're just going to cut straight across that too. Cut through it as a bunch because we're just going to be covering all of this up. So just fold that over to cut past it. Doesn't have to be a perfectly straight cut. As you can see, mine certainly is not. And then feeling your sides, make sure you come in far enough that everything's going to get covered. There we go.